この後11時より基調講演ゲームで世界に先駆けろを開始いたします。お時間まで今しばらくお待ちください。
超楽しいゲームに熱中でもその前に時間を決める超楽しいゲームに熱中でもその前に時間を決めるゲームやる時間決める僕たちは約束守る
時間を決めよう一日どれくらい宿題は終わらせたかな約束を作れば楽しいゲームがいつもより楽しくなるよ
超楽しいゲームに熱中いろんなゲームがあるあるある超楽しいゲームに熱中でも刺激強いゲームもあるあるパパとママに相談する自分に合うゲームで遊べ
相談をしようやりたいゲームは胸に合っているかな約束を守って楽しいゲームがいつもより楽しくなるよ
いろんな人とつながれる仲間をたくさん作れちゃうゲームの中でつながれるでもどんな人だかわからないコミュニケーションは難しいでもうまくいった時超楽しい
新しい出会いはいいこともあるし悪いことだってあるけど約束を守って楽しいゲームがいつもより楽しくなるよペアレンタルコントロールを使ってルールを決めて楽しく遊ぼうゲームの正しい約束さペアレンタルコントロールを覚えてね
約束をしようゲームはルールを決めてから
皆さんこんにちは。
Hello everyone. Welcome to Tokyo Game Show 2024 and thank you for watching. Just like last year, we are having this Tokyo Game Show using the full venue of Makuhari Messe. On top of physical venue, we have virtual venue, online programs. We offer a wide range of the programs so that we can offer the surprise and excitement and surprise to the game fans across the world. Theme for this year's Tokyo Game Show is Trailblaze the World with gaming. Please enjoy the next 4 days in your way. So we have Keynote, just like we do every year, and we have the great milestone, 30-year anniversary since the start of the PlayStation. We are going to hear a lot of stories when PlayStation started, and also we are going to talk about how technologies can evolve the entertainment. And we are going to talk about the past and also for the future. By the way, I'll be your moderator. I am Katsuhiko Hayashi from Kadokawa Game Linkage. Please enjoy the program until the very end. Now, we are going to welcome today's guest. He spearheaded the start of the first PlayStation. He also led the development of PlayStation 1 through 3. He is now Chief Executive Officer of Ascent Robotics. He is also the Professor Dean of Faculty of Informatics at Kinki University. We have Ken Kutaragi. Please welcome him with a warm applause. Thank you for coming. Thank you for having me. Mr. Kutaragi, please introduce yourself. Thank you for your kind introduction. My name is Kutaragi. This is my first time after long years to be in a Tokyo Game Show. I was excited. So yeah, it has been a long time for you to give a speech at the Tokyo Game Show. I'm also excited, so thank you. So please take a seat. So today we are going to hear from you about the start of the PlayStation. It was before we talk about 1994. Why don't we talk about 1993? When you talk to the game makers, we talked about it before the event. So can you elaborate on what you did back then? Yes, it was great lessons for me. And also looking back, it was a great story to really share with you. It was December 3rd, 1994, when PlayStation was launched. It was March 1993. Tokunaga, Maruyama, they were the founding members. So we visited all the game makers in the world. We wanted to share our passion, and we wanted to hear what their expectations were and what they did not expect. So we wanted to hear from them. So we visited dozens of companies, if not 100. So we visited a lot of game makers. It was a great memory. Okay, what reactions did you get though? Well, they were not interested at all. They said just don't do it. You know, there were multiple companies and none of them were successful. You are going to fail. That's what they told us. And we asked why. Why did you think we are going to fail? So nobody believed that we will be successful. Even within Sony, nobody believed that we will be successful. Okay, but you visited a number of companies, but didn't you get any positive feedback or developers? Yes, actually. It was spring 1993. So there were a lot of companies, 3DO. There were some new proposals, and some people had a passion and some opinions. From 1983, there were the family computers, the classic Nintendo. They were great console, and not only a console. There were two platforms. There were arcade games, right? Great games. There were a coin counting, and also the PC. So there were, the stack was important, but they were totally different platforms back then. But there were very great games people still remember. So we paid respect and we had a love for these games. So our team started within Sony. And that technology, we believe that it will evolve not only in 5 years, but also 10 years, 10 years, and 30 years. We wanted to lead the evolution, not to follow the evolution. So we laid out a plan, and everyone was not supporting us. Nobody supported us, but that made us happy because nobody was interested, meaning that they did not really think about it. We have AI today, but who were foreseeing what we have today 1 year ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? People had a vision. And we had a vision for gaming, so 1 hour is not enough, actually. So game console back then used the components from industrial world. It was a toy for kids. That's how the game console started. So technology level, because people are used to the components, and PC back then was weaker. It was just doing a calculation for offices. So nobody thought that the future of the games will change. So the people had some bias. People had a fixed thinking. So each company was only interested in their games. So people in the arcade were not interested in console, and people in PC world were not interested in console. Yes, there were certain segmentation, if you will. There was a Virtua Fighter title for arcade games, great games back then. Every day or every week, they needed to be updated. Otherwise, coin counting would go down. Street Fighter. So they were able to use our resources, so those infrastructure, and there were a lot of ICs. But they sold 10,000 units on average, maybe a little bit more. And it was too small to make dedicated IC. So what they did was making a combination of the components that were already there. And we wanted to add new concept. Computers would evolve with a very fast speed. And computers can be used in many applications. So we wanted to create new domain. It was our dream. So it's not about creating a gaming. You wanted to create computer entertainment. So it was difficult for people to understand that, right?
So basically, around 70s, they use CP and also PC as well, and also arcade game. But the computer itself, they didn't position as computer, so it's more you can play interactively and. That is like game software has been developed after that. But so when we think about the future aspect, what can be done, and also those who consider the future vision, I think around 1993. So when we had the discussion with the manufacturer of the game, there was not many people considered that way. So we would like to project the slide. So this is what we discussed just now. So at that time, 80s, 70s, they considered as a toy, and also after the United States came, like that was actually toy, the video game, and also including Sega or other makers, 8-bit, that was also toy, and also my child as well. So that was a toy for the boys. And that was very interesting, fascinating, and including myself. It's very like fascinated. But we have sports or music after you grown up. So what we did is like computer and the computer entertainment that we consider computer entertainment that we are using as a new word. But so this is something that we want to drive this. So what we are presenting right now, so this is not something that we made. So this is back in 1993. That's what I made in the slide. So that's amazing. So the team that worked with me, the Sony Group team, they didn't understand this concept. They didn't know what is this about. What was the computer? So computer entertainment. What is that? So the CEO actually, so they can actually consider as a Kutaragi computer entertainment or something. But we want to actually consider as a computer entertainment. And also, so the Sony Music Entertainment that the leadership wanted to deploy. So then next is about the computer entertainment that we actually wanted to deploy. So that was the back then. So that's how you started the Sony computer, the music entertainment as well. And also at that time, so as a matter of fact, so the game software makers, so the title by title that they developed, but at that time, the old days, we don't have materials, but in the other entertainment, so how they grow in the industry is the Hollywood. So Hollywood at that time, maybe you remember like 80s, 90s Total Recalls that they actually came up with, and at that time it was like a workstation that based on the real time that they actually use. Maybe some of you may remember. So Silicon Graphics, which is no longer available, but the Sony Picture Entertainment that we have also. But 2 hours film will be require the rendering for like multiple years. Like you need to have the workstation, and that can be done in real time, even with less accuracy. But what we wanted to do is, of course, the gaming industry. So we need to have the interaction real time. So that means that in the TV, so the computer controller that you need to touch, and also you need to have the control in real time. So no one couldn't actually understand that is achievable. So for example, like a CD-ROM that we can put the image, and then we can do some of the slides, but that so we consider that maybe we can develop this in the screens for the real time. So that's why we came up with a prototype. So not just a beautiful image, but the 2D to 3D is more real time. Like it's more like computing that you did. So real time. It's not close to real time. It's actually real time. So we need to have the real time interactions, and also Silicon Graphics couldn't do that, and also even with the 100 million yen, and also within not just the engineer but also the people from across the world, there are wields. So that we discussed with them, and we started the development of PlayStation, and so what we wanted to do, like from March 1993, so no one actually thought that this is achievable. So they actually was nobody actually was supportive and believed us. So Namco, who is working on the arcade game, not for the family but also the arcade use, the prototype that they made and the video that we showed them, then they actually got interest in that, and also like a niche star or the software company. So they showed the interest. What is this Sony, and is this achievable? And they were actually showed the interest. And at that time, after 1 month, so we actually went to Kamata, and then also we had the NDAs in place, and so then so they this was so amazed, so they can change the arcade foundation. So this is very low cost, and of and also you need to sell massive volume, then the arcade foundation will be even cheaper, and also so they can actually leverage the foundation to to the software. So and then so in their cell, so they actually trying to trying to focus on the family, but they canceled that, and everyone was smiled to do that initiative. So this was trigger, and as from May or June, so the partial software manufacturer, they thought that this would be amazing result. So the Ridge Racer or Tekken or other makers, so they change their mindset or behavior. And another point that I wanted to tell you is like when I say entertainment, so platform, not just a platform hardware evaluation, but also not just for the game developers. Of course, the image or like a screen, like a drama or music. We have a lot of creators, so they got excited. They all got excited, and they can actually make together with this entertainment was actually the dream, and also they happened to see the person who worked in for the Hollywood, and they were very astonished, and they were actually asked a very basic question. So after they stopped talking, like not this can actually shorten the period of 10 years ahead. So 10 years. So and also the Silicon Graphic workstation at that time, the real time was actually 100 million yen for one unit, and also another one will be a few thousand million. So the resolution was not really good, but the real-time reaction. So the creator actually trying to get tap into the gaming industry, which was amazing. So we actually use one apartment room to make this, but so there was a momentum that people can actually make the move to make the new entertainment. So as a result, the gaming world became with wide range, and also there was a lot of projects coming out, and I think that was impressive to have the more younger people to be interested. And we didn't expect this era to come. So around June, July, so some of the game software makers actually decided to accept the offer. They want to make this happen, and also the PlayStation produced, and also with the print or sometimes it's suspicious, and also sometimes people would get disappointed by, and we can invite people to actually see the actual prototype, and we can show them how to play them.
It was the October 20th in 1993. We invited everyone, and there were 4 prototypes, and showed a demo, and with a demo back then. And some of you were there actually. And those people in the gaming industry, they, they have a lot of conversation. We communicate with each other. They are full of energy. But during demo, nobody spoke. It was silence. No conversation between each other. And they left the venue. And we were shocked. They did not think they were interested. That's what we thought. We spent our entire night to prepare, and team talked to us. Maybe they didn't like it, but on the next day, we got a ton of phone calls. So it was overwhelming to them, and nobody was able to really speak. That's correct. And Sega launched Virtua Fighter back then, and it was very interesting in terms of the timing. And there were a lot of inquiries because people were interested in what Sony was doing. Okay, so people really felt 3D era is coming, real-time computing is coming. So it was not really real-time computing. Silicon Graphics did not think real-time computing was possible, but again, we showed a demo, and that's really the milestone. Now people are into it. So this is what we try to do. So we use the processors for our workstations and geometry engine, and there were some specific engines, and they were all on there, and it was assembler, and it was shifted to C. And people are not familiar with these technologies. All the manual was English, and those computing method was something they were not familiar with. And we thought that it was good to share the library, so we actually came up with the manuals, the library for setup. So it's kind of GitHub today. We documented the manual and we distributed the manuals. Kernel, that came before game engine. So it was kind of open library, was it? That's correct. And we prepared that and we distributed to everyone. Nobody was thinking about manual, and there were some manuals, but it was not much. But we wanted to make sure there were information in the manual. And Namco, Ridge Racer, it was just barely moving one car, but it was not really smooth at all. And we worked with Namco for fine-tune, identifying the bottleneck and make improvements. And then it was the background, and it went from 30 to 60, and we made a request to Namco. We worked so hard, so why don't we make this library open so that we can share? It was unrealistic back then. It was a know-how for Namco, and it was a source code. We were saying that let's share the source code, and they were surprised. But eventually they said okay, because Namco was really confident about what they had. And guess what happened? 1 month after the PlayStation, Takara launched Toshinden, and it was like it used to be origami type texture, but and then there was evolution. Then there was a team of 7 or 8 to develop something like that. And it was January 1st that was launched, 1 month after the launch of the PlayStation. And also, each game soft maker, when we visited them, they all said that don't do 3D. It has to be 2D. If it's 3D, it does not really make sense. It was a first reaction we got when we visited the game soft makers for the first time. But people over time realized the evolution, new titles. And those creators in the gaming industry, they wanted to make some move. Maybe the president of the company said, we shouldn't do it. It's not going to make money. But those game creators, and they saw Toshinden, Parappa the Rapper, and they wanted to be involved. So that was kind of the grassroots activity. That's how this kind of movement spread out. Okay, we talked about the game. So why don't we continue our conversation watching a TV commercial back then? So can you play some TV commercials now? Do you remember these TV commercials? Yes. So we are seeing a Ridge Racer gameplay. Yes, this was another interesting TV commercial. So the traditional TV commercials of the game softs were the gameplay, but the PlayStation TV commercial was saying 1, 2, 3, December 3rd. And people were knocking on the door of the home appliance store. So the PlayStation was launched on December 3rd. There was a long queue. People were waiting. How did you feel seeing that? It was as if there was a rock music concert. It was all excitement. And so it was launched on December 3rd. And, there were teams of the game creators. And we wanted to launch a party before the launch. It was Ebis Garden Hills. There was a hall. So there was the party before the launch. And someone called me, Shinjuku, Akihabara, there are lines. People are waiting for PlayStation. I think Famitsu covered the phenomenon, right? And after the party, we actually visited the stores, seeing the people making lines. It was such a cold weather, but people were waiting for the PlayStation. And that really moved us. That was a proof of what you have done, right? Yes, I was amazed. And also those game creators, developers, they were amazed. Well, we have a really limited time today. So now we would like to make a shift. You are kind of away from gaming industry now, right? But you are witnessing AI evolution. Technology evolution does not stop. So how do you see computer entertainment? How do you see the computer entertainment creative today? Well, actually, to talk about that, I would like to use my slide. So this is from first PlayStation. This surprised everyone, right? It was not origami. There were shadows, textures, and these objects are moving, and physical computing was possible. drop shadow was there. And I think there was another famous dinosaur demo video. It was primitive, but you can change lighting. And nobody thought it was possible, and it is actual screen. And there's another dinosaur demo. It is moving using the console. Back then, there was computing in advance. It was not real time, but it is a real time computing. It can be possible with the memory. And you don't have to read a lot of data from CD-ROM, like Rich Racer, music, games. There are only 2 megabytes. So memory size is 2 megabytes. Once you read it, you can take the disk out. And you can listen to the music playing the Ridge Racer. But you have to read it first. And this really changed people's perception.
So after this, we had this coming out and the tool before. So it's totally cheaper, but so we actually wanted to have the PlayStation memory to put the memory on, and then using the actual machine, and like we can put this more. So it's like a Sai or other Doko Demo Isho was the game. So these were very interesting, and PS2 and this, and also after the PS2. So it's more primitive, can be handled, and also this is the real time. So this is the fluffy thing. So the semi-transparent is also possible, and also this is the weather was actually the physical computing, which is only the workstation only, but this is non-real time. But actually, the PS2 can do that, and also across the world. So the creator actually surprised, and this is the inside of water, so you can see the reflection of the water also can be computing, and also this is the duck demonstration, so it can float on the water, which is kawaii, which is more entertainment look, and also you can actually take baths with your babies, and also from here on, so there are a lot of great titles to PlayStation 1 and 2 that developed, and also the software makers, they don't have the title, so they can just buy them. But so rather than that, they actually make a lot of great titles, not just Japan, but also from the global. We had a lot of momentum here, and the piece. PlayStation 3, so this is the computing is totally different. I remember this moment. So this was only one duck, but you can do the computing background simulation. This is the real time, but nobody actually believed this. And also, like those who born from born like or 10. Like a younger generation wouldn't actually know this, but so this one here, I remember this scene. So this is what we done before, and also this 5,000 fishes, the simulation only, so real-time simulation. And also what happened is like for the family game machine was actually exceeding the workstation, and then the new contents generated, and the contents was not just for the children, but also what you want to play from the adult aspect. And adults can actually make what they want to play, so from the global aspect. And so we had a lot of franchise out there, and also they was so amazed, and this was a great momentum. So the PC was actually for the admin use, but so if the PlayStation can do this, then the PC graphic, CPU can also survive, and then we can integrate with the PC. So the software maker actually wanted to consider the cross-functional platform. So my teammates actually considered to integrate into the PC. So this PS4 came, and also the adults came, whatever they want to play, and they evolved, and the significant growth in the market. And this is the statistics. Maybe this can be newer, but actually, at the timing of 2020, the 34 years old is actually the biggest players. It used to be even younger. So even with my generation plays them. So we had that moment. And actually, we had the boys playing the games. So the PlayStation, but actually started to use with the family, then a woman included. We don't have, so there's not much difference between woman and man users. So regardless of woman or men. So this is what I want to highlight. So excluding the game hardware, the software is 28 trillion. The music, film, television, it's totally exceeding. So what they are producing as a game software at it's exceeding the category, which is quite amazing. It's actually the worldwide, which is very amazing. So I'd like to take occasion to software manufacturers and also those who love the game, players. I really wanted to say thank you to everyone for supporting us, and actually, Kutaragi-san or other members, when you survive through this tough moment back in 1993 or 4, which is much appreciated, and I accelerate the moment. So we only have 10 minutes left. So as we wanted to talk about this, so when we think about the future aspect, what kind of excitement that we can wait? Good question, actually. So, for example, like we have a lot of people but maybe we can have reproduction in the real time. Maybe we can incorporate that into the game. Yes, we can imagine a lot of things, but you need if you can imagine, which means that it's feasible. So that is the very basic of the entertainment. It's the imagination. In case of my side, so I'm actually seeing the 15 years ahead. So of course, we need to anticipate what's going to happen in the future. So what we can integrate, see, we have a lot of things that we can integrate. So this was actually a great news for me. So the game software, so across the world, people are playing, and actually people are making or producing, especially with Europe or United States. Europe people, we never consider that they would actually make the game software, and also people from China. So they can actually thought that they can make even more interesting entertainment. This is a mega hit. So it was 10 million with one week. And it's actually a significant growth, which is very amazing. So for the next generations, so people are making the software. I think this is a great momentum. So the game science debut product. This is the debut product, which is too amazing. So not just this, but also the creator across the world would actually produce, and also they would lead the market. So what would be coming in the next? So since we have limited time, but the left side from the PC workstation, supercomputer, and so here today I'm going to explain this real-time computing. So the computer, the AI, open AI, the Altman was actually announced, but the real-time can be done. So of course the very natural, it's so you can actually have the real-time interactive and entertainment, and these are how they are integrated together. We need to integrate it in great momentum. So from the video game, computer entertainment, real-time and computing, and as a industry, we need to fuse this, and also on the right side. So the game system fantasy that they can integrate together, and also what you can do is that anything can be can calculated, also compute to do the real-time computing. So it's computable. So that's why we have the generative AI. So we can actually do the computing. And so today I have the face-to-face with the audience, but maybe in the near future, maybe like this, this can be actually do through the monitoring or through the monitor or through the online. So maybe the Zoom or Teams still 20th century, but it's convenient. But it's more like a first era of the PC. So if we can include AI, then we can do the multiple interaction, not just the language, but also so we can include all these new categories, and we can evolve even further.
So how should AI be nurtured? How should AI be used for game development? Well, what is interesting about entertainment is entertainment changes over time. In the past, it was about shooting and fighting, but it is changing. And those, the Wukong, it was their first game. So maybe I can show you some slide. And this is the from the decades ago. You know, there were everything, vision cam and parallel computing. They were from the future, and they are here with us. And there are AI appearances 4 times. Monolith, it is AI. When the monkey uses it, and it becomes a lot smarter, and they are equipped with the capability to go to a space, and the monolith gives you the capability to travel across the planets, and then the captain became the old man, and then the superhuman emerges. So it was the science fiction world, but this is where we are today. So the AI and the human being integrated, that will be coming. It's not only about graphics, but a real world can be computable. But if it's computable, it's not the real world. It doesn't have to be real world. It can be a fantasy. It can be games. You know, you can go beyond the time. A lot of things will be possible. And AI can have characteristic, just like people. You know, each one of us has a different brain. AI can has a different brain. So that is something I envision, including the dream that I have. But you are looking at it. Yes, actually, it's coming. That's amazing. So it's not only about the gaming, but a lot of excitement really awaits us. That's correct. So it is still in a fantasy world today. You know, it is fun, but this real world, it is interesting world, right? So a lot of industries can be integrated. You have fun when you go to theme park, but you don't go to theme park every day, right? But this gaming industry, if it's the 28 trillion yen industry today, it can be grown by 10 times or 100 times. So this unthinkable world, it can be achieved. Yes, I talked about it. And some components is my future, but I think it's going to come. Okay, so for young game creators, and there are game creators around the world, do you have any message to them? Well, I would say what you are doing is great. Your imagination is great, and knowledge and know-how can be shared. In the past, it was very difficult. It was difficult individually and across the companies, but now it can be changed. It can be exchanged instantly, and this will accelerate. So your curiosity and your dream. And in the past, we thought that the curiosity is at the peak when we were babies and it would diminish. But actually, it's going to change. And people can have the even bigger dream. Kutaragi-san, you are full of energy. You have a curiosity. Yes, I continues to be kid. But that is amazing part, right? So if I start relaxing, then people want to talk to me. Here I see a lot of children, kids, in their minds. So you encouraged us. So thank you for your story. Well, actually, we are nearing the end of the program. But so you sent some message to game creators, but do you have message to game fans? When I say game fans, not only in Japan, but also game fans from around the world. So can you send the message to everyone? Hello, everyone. You are going to create the future, and I look forward to seeing that. Thank you. So thank you for a great conversation, Mr. Kutaragi. Thank you for joining us. And please give him the warm applause to him. Thank you. So I think you are all excited listening to the conversation. Thank you for watching and joining this keynote. So this concludes the keynote for Tokyo Game Show 2024, Trailblaze the World with Gaming. And there are a lot of programs available with this channel and different channels. And if you have time, please visit Makuhari venue over here to enjoy Tokyo Game Show 2024 in person. We wait for you. Once again, I was Hayashi from Kadokawa Game Linkage. Once again, thank you for watching.